Welcome back. This workout is going to leave your body feeling so strong because it's all about strength and core control. So in today's workout, we have 16 movements. We'll only see them twice. So really work hard. I've got 2 sets of dumbbells. You could totally do this body weight. This is really about connecting arms and legs to our trunk, our core. So let's start with a brief warm-up, and then we're gonna get right on in to the work. Did I mention my name is Mandy and I'm with GymRa? If I didn't, I am, and here we are. So starting with some breathing. I'm gonna start in a kneeling position. If this doesn't feel good to you, by all means, any way you wanna kneel is great. We're gonna reach the arms up and drop in. Good, reach the arms up and drop in. Let's do 2 more. Reach the arms up. We have a lot of kneeling today, so I think it's important that we kind of get used to that. Good, now from here, I'm gonna bring 1 foot out to the side, lean into it, and then switch the knees. Woo! Feel like I'm on a boat. Lean into it and switch. Keep on trucking with it. I lean and switch. This is just to open up the hips here. So if you're not getting very far in the beginning, by all means, go at a pace that feels good to you and go at a range of motion that is pain-free. Last one, both sides. Feels so good to open up my hips. And then from here, I'm gonna bring myself back to a high kneel position. Take the arms forward, pull. Take the arms forward and pull. Just so you can see this from the side, I'm just driving my elbows behind my rib cage. We have a lot of hands today, so I'm actually gonna get us into our wrist stretching. Bring your hands down to the floor. Bring them about shoulder width apart. Circle around, reverse the circle, and then flip onto the top of the hand and floss the wrist joint. We'll switch our sides here, circle around. So I'm feeling weight distribution differently throughout my wrist and palm. And then I'm gonna turn the other palm so that it's face up, and I'm just gonna rock my hips from front to back. Good, now from here, just so you can see this from the front, turn the fingers in, shift the weight, bend and extend, and then turn the fingers back. Shift the weight back to stretch through this forearm area and forward. And then from here, we're gonna get onto the fists. I know some people like to be on fists when we move into any type of kneeling work or all fours work. Last but not least, let's flip over onto our hips. We do have push-ups, we do have dips today. If those don't work for you, I'll show you ways to amend. But just to get into the areas that I'm talking about, I'm gonna lift my hips up first to stretch the front side of my shoulder, drop down, give me a little bend and extend of the elbow. Let's do it 1 more time. Drop and lift. Actually, let's do it 3 times. You kind of knew that was coming, didn't you? Set your hips down. Give yourself a little hug, rocking back and forth. Our warm-up is basically complete, so we're gonna move through our first set of 8 movements. There's no rest between any of them, and then we'll go into another set of 8 movements, starting on our hands and feet. So moving through into our first piece of work, timer for that, 50 seconds, is gonna be a down dog push-up. Let's go over it real quick. So moving into down dog push-up, I'm in this triangular position. The neck is nice and long. I'll bend the elbows out so that the crown of the head aims towards the floor. I'll press my way back up. Then I'll shift to plank, reach with my right, reach with my left, and return back to down dog. That's action number 1. The timer for that starts in just a moment. 2, 1, and away we go. Shift my way up to down dog. Hold that for a moment, really solidify. Bend the elbows, push. Shift your way to plank, like you're moving through water here. So really emphasize the strength component of the work. Lifting up into down dog, do your push-up, shifting through plank, reaching, And then of course, switching. We're trying not to rock the body too much. If you're struggling like I am right now, bring your feet wider apart. You're gonna have a more stable base, so you won't rock as much. Finish this rep out. So we'll finish with reaching and switching, and we're moving into a high kneel with our upright row. So I'm gonna use my heavier set. Sit nice and tall, pull, and slow release. Exhale, pull those weights up. See how my elbows are higher than my wrists? That's the goal in an upright row. What if you can't get up that high? I'll start here. Still, elbows higher than the wrist, right? So we want to maintain good form and alignment for this upright row. After doing shoulders and then shoulders right in a row, I'm like, oh, this is tough. But you're tough. I'm tough. We're tough enough. Excellent. You only need one dumbbell, so place it between your knees and then step onto your left foot. Your left hand will have the dumbbell. You're gonna load the dumbbell on the shoulder here. Lean, press, and return. Whoa, lost my balance. I am on a warped board, so I'll give myself the credit here. First one on this board, return. Yes, so it's a power move. As I twist, I'm looking at the dumbbell, so it's and rack it back to that shoulder, left with left. So if you're feeling like you're doing it wrong, check to make sure that the same foot is on the floor as the hand that has the dumbbell. Really good. So all we're gonna do is one more, and then we're gonna switch our sides. So have your foot about 45 degrees out, be ready to touch the floor, and then return. Pause in the moment of power, really solidify that, and then tuck your seat as you rise. I love this because I get a little bit of core, a little bit of arm strength, and obviously hip mobility. A lot of that going on here. Use that breath. Punch to the ceiling. So good. The sun feels so good on my skin. Oh, I love it. I'm a total sun baby. Finish it strong. We're moving into a kneeling moving thruster. I would grab my second medium dumbbell, bring the toes to touch, have the knees a little wider than the shoulders, and turn the palms to face up. As I lift up off my hips, my arms are gonna draw back. So it's gonna be a pull and return, pull and return. Really thinking about posture here as my arms come behind my ribs. Showing this to you on an angle so you can see this. I'm resting the weights on the thighs. I'm gonna lift up and pull and return. I'm driving my hips to the front. Yeah. We'll get an opportunity to see this again where things are a little harder, but this is round one. We're just getting used to the movement. So no need to rush our way into the difficult stuff. This is 3-2, and that is time. Go ahead and set your dumbbells off your mat and meet me on your hands and your heels. So you're gonna slide your feet forward, hands come behind you. I find a reverse table. So my hands right underneath my shoulders, my hips are high. Then from my reverse table, I'm gonna lift my leg up and switch. Much like when we were in plank, now we're just reverse. Notice if your hips are rocking right to left. We wanna keep them pretty stable as we lift off one foot and then the other foot. Tremendous amount of core control and a lot of arm work. I'm post-exhausting those triceps, setting my feet down slowly. Slowly set the hips down, wring out the wrists for a moment, just shake them off, and we'll move into the next exercise. Speaking of which, we're on the floor. We don't need the weights for anything here. I'm gonna cross the ankle over the thigh, interlace the hands, and I'm finding a bridge into a cross crunch and switch. Bridge, cross crunch, switch. Lift, release, twist, release. lift, release, twist. Notice if your neck is doing the work. Think about utilizing the abdominals to curl your way up, lifting off of those ribs. That is the time on that effort. We're gonna find our lightest set of dumbbells, and we're gonna find a static bridge. Static bridge. So arms are gonna start over the chest, lift your hips up, press into those heels. Arms reach over the head as far as it feels comfortable to do, pain-free, and pulls back to the heart. Inhale to lower the arms, hips stay static. Exhale, neck is nice and long here. Inhale to reach up. Pull the rib cage in, exhale to return. So on the next round, if you felt like, okay, I can handle my heavier set, maybe you do. These are just 3s for me, but these feel pretty good because I am a little bit sore. So it's nice to kind of get this work in. Slowly set the hips down, slowly bring the weights to the heart, rock your way up to sit, reset your space. We don't have much time. We do this all again. Now, if you want to make it harder, bring your feet closer together. We have a down dog push-up into a plank reach. So feet as wide as they need to be for your stability, bend, extend. Notice my speed has picked up in the second round. So as I've gotten used to what my body is supposed to be doing, I'm now challenging the speed upon which I can execute these combinations. One down dog press. It's a really awkward push-up. So if that's not working for you, just find down dog. Bend the elbows a little bit. See how it goes for you. I'm a big fan of just working at a pace that feels attainable, and the rest shall follow. It's about consistency over time anyways. So if you keep trying, eventually it gets easier. Okay, high kneel with the upright row. We'll need those dumbbells. Meet me in the high kneel position. Legs aren't moving here. I pull and I return. So it's a fast way up and a slow return back down to the hips. Bilateral upright row. Nothing's changing. Just doing a second round. Different schools of thought with that. I find when I've got, 3 sets, 2 sets, I really get a chance to learn it and do it better as I go. And some people are like, I just want to rip it and go, not go again. Everybody's different. Without saying that, I'm I'm not a big fan of no repeats, but sometimes it's nice. All right, so keep those dumbbells. We're gonna find that kneeling position. Now, this time, if I wanna make it harder, I'm gonna reach the arms forward and pull. Reach and pull, reach and pull. I feel a tremendous amount of difference, right? Biceps are working here for sure. I reach forward, I reach forward and I pull. I drive my hips through my arms. Again, showing this to you on the angle because I think that is helpful to see. It is a pelvic thrust. I reach, lead with your hips, drive, drive. Beautiful. Couple more reps for the day. We will not see it again, so there's that. Beautiful. Okay, that is it for that. Keep one of those dumbbells and bring your right foot to the floor. So that means the right hand has the dumbbell. Rack it, twist, press, return. Twist and press. So there is a very light landing on this hand. I could even bring it to my fingers instead of the wrist. Just a light grip. Just imagine your body's just kind of tilting as the arm drives to the sky. Feeling a lot of bicep now because it's got turned on. So even though this workout I was like no cardio, I do feel my heart rate raising in a different way because I'm using this load on the arm. And it's a power move. Yes, switch your sides, please. We're doing it, we're making it happen. And switch the weight. And return. Less is more, take your time. If you're feeling dizzy, slow it down. Do it body weight, take a break, pause the video. Doesn't mean we have to just go on the hamster wheel. Have some compassion for where you're at. And if that doesn't resonate with you, work for it. Really work your body. Getting that full range of motion. This is a lot of mobility along with strength work. Good, we've got time for a couple. Really strong. Moving into that reverse table with leg lift. So go ahead and meet me on your hands and heels. The setup for this is so important. So notice the fingertips, grip the mat, lift up, find your reverse. You're looking down the bridge of your nose. Oftentimes when I've coached this before, I've seen people really dip their head back. It just hurts. So to look forward, lift a knee, maybe extend the leg. Lift the knee, maybe extend the leg. Right, so now we're adding more time in the air to find my single leg balance. What's cool is we've got this alternating leg, so it's not like it's just one side over and over again. You get this little bit of break each time. Keep lifting those hips up, that's part of it. Okie dokie. Go ahead and lower down. Reverse moves now into bridge and crunch. So flare the elbows out, stamp down through one foot, lift the hips in the bridge, cross rotation, and rinse, repeat other side. So it's gonna be the hip bridge, into the rotation, and then the switch of the legs. Squeeze your glute at the very top of the bridge if you can remember to do that. Lift, and not even a cloud in the sky, by the way. The sky is so richly blue today. Very lush season for Southern California for sure. We just had a bunch of rain, so very lush right now. Okay, that was your last bridge and crunch. We've got the isometric bridge with the pullover. I am going to try it with my heavier dumbbells. So arms are going to start over the chest first. Lift your hips statically, so we're going to hold the hips there. I start to reach the arms up as high as I feel cozy doing it. Notice those shoulders plugging in, and then pull. So as I lift, notice if the back of the neck starts to get crunchy. We want to keep the back of the neck really long on the floor. Keep those hips high and pull. So we're doing a reverse table to hold the hips up, and we're doing a static bridge. So we are working the glutes isometrically twice in this first block of 8. Speaking of, bring the weights to the shoulders or chest, lower the hips, set the hips down, rock yourself up. We don't have a lot of time between these 2 blocks of work. So we're moving into our next block. It's a full sit-up and saw. Set your weights over to the side, flip onto the seat. We'll set up and saw first, just so you can see what this looks like. Arms are gonna come out to the sides. I twist, I reach, I return, I roll it down. Then I sit my way up, arms come out, I twist, I reach to the other side. Palm faces up on the back arm. Rise. Bring the arms forward and roll yourself down. Set your vertebrae down one at a time. Curl your way up, sit super tall, flare the arms out. Now I twist back to that side one, palm faces up on the back arm. Return, bring the arms in front of you, roll yourself down. If you're just catching the rhythm and you're going, oh man, I wish I could do this more, we'll get another opportunity, I promise. Twist, reach, return, and let's roll it back down nice and slow. Good. Now from here, I'm going to sit tall on my seat. Bring my feet flat, extend my feet so that my toes are pulling towards my chest. Nice, sitting super tall. This is posture, so you can see my back here. I'm gonna do an alternated overhead press. Flex your feet so you feel your quads working. And you're looking directly forward. Arms are pressing overhead. Wide grip, meaning my palms face in front of me. I get the most muscle in the shoulder when I'm doing the wide grip press. Sit up super tall, pull the ribs from the hips, pull the belly away from your t-shirt. Still looking forward. Excellent work. Go ahead and drop those weights off because it's time for tricep dips. So if you're not dipping today, you could do a kneeling kickback. Otherwise, dips look like this. My hips are heavy here. I'm bending and extending the elbows back and down. Now, if that's not working, I could also do an overhead triceps extension with a single weight, or maybe with both. Your call, you do you. Keep up with the dips if you're here. We've got about 15 seconds-ish left. Pull the rib cage in. Exhale to lift your way up. Oh my gosh, the front of my shoulders is actually burning. Just a stretch. Okay. Personally, I would grab my lightest set of dumbbells for this next challenge. It's a big core challenge, kind of disguised as an upper body challenge, just to be honest. Bring the legs to the sky. Let's point the toes, lift the head, neck, and shoulders. The arms start right over the chest. I'm gonna lower the legs, slide the arms wide, and exhale the arms back in. Head, neck, and shoulders lift. Inhale, open wide, legs stay together like a mermaid tail. Exhale through center. I'm looking between my inner thighs. In through the nose, and exhale. My chin is tucked. Squeeze the legs, point the toes. So for me, I think 3s are it. I mean, I could totally do the 8s, but I think I'd be really struggling with my form. So again, working smart over working hard necessarily, okay? So let's bring the weights to the chest, set the feet down, drop the weights off. Okie dokie. Moving into mermaid. This one is a good setup, so I want to make sure that my arm is about 45 degrees in front of me. Really spread the palm out. My top hand starts on my shin. I'm going to lift up, extend my legs, reach the arm over my head, and slowly spring back to my hip. Take an inhale. Exhale, drive your way up. Inhale, return. Yes, less is more. Exhale to lift. I still feel a lot of work in the arms from the previous work we've done. So really important you keep this shoulder plugged in. We're gonna get an opportunity to do second side here. So set the hips down, swing the legs to the other side. Bottom leg is forward. Bottom arm is at 45 degrees forward. Top arm's gonna start right in that shin. Lift. First one might feel really weird. Reset. And then really strong upper body. Lifting up and slowly bending the knees to return. Like a spring, right? So you're like a spring. We're springing our way up and we're returning with control back down to the floor. Because the tendency is to crash down. So if you can control that, be really better than anything else. Don't even worry about the range of motion over that control back. And return. Got time for this last one. Meet me on your stomach. We're gonna turn to face this direction because we'll need the weights. So if the weights are at the edge of the mat, you may or may not wanna be facing that way. So superhuman. I'm gonna place my hands right next to my chest. I'm on the top of my, I'm on my crown, my forehead. That's what it is, it's a forehead. I'm gonna lift up, reach, hold for 3, 2, 1, and return. Roll the shoulders, take a moment, lift up, reach, hold 3, 2, 1, challenge. If you can lift your chest up and your thighs up, let's try it. Lift and reach, 3, 2, 1, and slowly press your way up. And we're gonna meet in bird dog. You need 1 dumbbell, I'm gonna use my light dumbbell. This is alternated, so check it out. I'm gonna lift up and switch. Lift up. I'm looking right down where I'm setting the weight down. So for me, it's a great kind of warm-up set. I'm realizing going, probably could have grabbed the 8. So in the next round, because I get that second opportunity, you're welcome, I will grab the 8. Hopefully I don't forget. Horrible memory. But I do my best, right? where no one's perfect. So judgment aside, so close. Excellent work. So set your weights off to the side here for a moment. We're gonna do a full sit-up with the saw. I don't think using weights is an excellent choice here. So setting yourself back up on your seat, getting ready to begin. Arms out wide. We twist away from the camera first. So I'm gonna twist, reach, return, bring the arms in front of the chest and roll myself down. All the way to the crown of the head. Curl my way up. Arms slide open. Now I'm twisting towards you. Hello. Return. Bring the arms back in front of you and roll your way down. If you need assistance coming back down to the floor, by all means, I'll show you how to do it here. I'm gonna twist, and then I'm gonna bring the arms back in front of me. Maybe I just grab the backs of the legs and I usher my way back down until I land on the back of my head. So your call, I know I'm landing on my weight, so there's that. Curl my way up, lift my way up, arms come out, I twist. Sorry, I just got real excited. And now I'm done with that, and I'm gonna flip into that L seat. So grab your dumbbells and sit super tall. Flex your feet. Last time we did alternated. If you wanna make it harder, meaning you're gonna do more, make it bilateral. So sit tall. Primary is I'm sitting up tall. So if you're doing one of these things, I want you to lift your chest up. Like you have a beam of light right here and you're shining it like a flashlight in front of you. Draw those shoulders back. Such a short duration, so really make it worth every single repetition. We don't have a long time together. Oh, last one. Beautiful work. Go ahead and drop off the dumbbells because guess what time it is? Dip time. So we're gonna move into those dips. Scoot forward a little bit, walk the hands back, spread the hands out. Hips stay heavy, drop and lift. Drop and lift. Upper body strength, core control. Yes, I can guarantee you I'm gonna need some sort of arm massage later. I can feel my arms just starting to be like jelly. Oh, but it's always a good feeling. I love that muscular burn, don't you? So close. Oh. Remember, if I needed to modify the dips, I could also use light weights and come behind me. I know last time I showed that overhead, so if the overhead was really bugging you, that's another way to do those triceps. Speaking of, you're done with the dips, so hello. Go ahead and find your hollow hold. And like I mentioned, I felt pretty good with the light weights here. If you wanted to make it harder, grab the heavier set that you've got. Let's point the toes, lift the head, neck, and shoulders, lower the legs, and pull. Nothing's changing, you just need to repeat it because the body loves repetition. This is how we see progress, is comparison between round one and round two and really being cognizant of challenging ourselves to be a better version of ourselves. Can you lift up taller? Excellent, really nice. Bring the weights in. Set them down. Okay, dokie. We're moving into that mermaid situation. So hand on the floor, bottom leg forward of the top leg, top arm comes onto the shin bone. I lift up, I spring load and release. Lift up. So in this second round, similar to when we did that down dog push-up, I'm just moving faster. It's a lot of hand, right? So really spread the fingers out, grip your mat. Think about not just having the heel of your hand be the star of the show there, but you've got all these little Vanna Whites. And these Vanna Whites want to work too, right? They want to turn the letters. Exhale to lift, inhale to return. Switch your sides. So scoot yourself over to the other side. Bottom leg in front, top leg behind. Top arm braces that shin bone. Hand at 45, shoulders plugged in. Let's go. Lift and spring back. I feel like we're like changing the clocks, you know. Spring forward, fall back. Good, exhale to lift. I don't know about you, but the second side here, just struggle bus population 1. Exhale to lift, inhale to return. It's the last little bit of side bending here. And release. Give me one more. I lied, give me one more, you can do it. And return, excellent work. Okay, onto your stomach. Oh my gosh, this is the superhuman. Now I'm gonna add into this. I'm gonna start here. My hands in alignment with the chest. This is important to note. I'm gonna lift up into my superhuman. Hands are gonna stay close. Curl the toes. Press my way up to plank. Bring the knee in, other knee in, and slow release down. Yes, we're doing less because there's a lot more going on. Superhuman, pause, set it down, curl the toes. Mandy, what if I need to lower the knees? Lower the knees. Pick yourself up, knee, knee, lower. Lift, press, knee, finish here, knee. Okay, we're on the alternated bird dog. So grab the heavier dumbbell if you're feeling good, and away we go. I'm gonna curl the toe, open the arm, and switch. Big difference between this 8 and the 3. To be totally honest, I would use a 5. So, because the 8 feels just a little much, and the 3 felt a little too easy. So I needed the baby bear and I left him at home, you know? There we go, abs in tight, looking right between the hands. Reverse fly, lift that leg, opposing side. So right with left and left with right. Guess what time it is? Guess, stretch. So the first thing I'm gonna do, bring my knees wide, lower down into child's pose. Sink your hips back. We don't have long for the stretch, but we don't really need a long time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna crawl my hands a little closer together, palms come to touch. Slowly walk the elbows a little tighter into the sides of the head and crawl the elbows forward, sinking the hips back. I'm feeling that stretch through the triceps. So as I'm here, my hands in prayer above my head, I can just kind of clasp my hands and circle my wrists around. Don't worry, this isn't the only wrist stretch we're gonna get. So if you're going, girl, come on. Don't skimp on the wrists. We're gonna release, lift off of the wrists so we're on our fingers and ripple our way to all fours. So bring your knees in a little tight and roll onto the top of the hand. Just like our warm-up, just kind of rock your hips back and forth. And then keep that hand down, circle the hips, so we're feeling the pressure differently on the top of the hand. Now I'll switch my sides. So if this hand is really feeling some type of way, come onto the forearm. Shift your body weight front to back here. It's even less body weight on this wrist. So listen to what you need. You can always be on this hand if it needed to be the case. Then I'm gonna circle around and circle back. It's like we're writing an email. Good, now from here I'm gonna slide my legs forward and flex my feet. Lift my arms up and fold. Good, just take a moment in the forward fold, nod the head all the way to the left, nod the head all the way to the right. I'm feeling the stretch all the way through the backs of the legs with a soft bend in the knees and pushing through the heels of the feet. Good. Now I'm gonna take my hands, load them on the bottom of my foot and pull my chest back. So I'm really stretching my spine by using the feedback from my foot. Slowly roll up. I'm gonna turn around a little bit and turn so that the soles of the feet are touching. Sit up nice and tall to start. Then take your hands, peel the feet open like a book and fold over the hips. Did a bunch of hip stuff, so we'll end with some hip stuff today. Hip stuff. Look it up on Google or whatever. Rise your way up. Bring one foot underneath the other. So I'm gonna stack my shins sitting up nice and tall, and fold over the legs. So bridges and reverse table and all that jazz, just a nice little way to kind of bring it down a notch. Nice. Take a deep breath in, rise your way up, physically remove that top from the bottom, and now switching to make the bottom the top and vice versa. Flex the feet, protect the knee joint here, and then we'll fold over the hip. And I know for me, my sides are like, totally different. Just pay attention to it. Give yourself a moment. So we got a little bit more stretching to go, and then we'll call it, okay? Sit any way you see fit. So for me, I really like to sit in the kneeling position, but again, totally up to you. Take the hands, clasp them behind the back, open the chest cavity, drop the chin to the chest. Just breathe. Let the stretch of the chest happen naturally. And then we'll bring the hands to the knees, dome the back, tuck the chin. Last stretch, bring the hand to the temple, slide the other hand underneath the thigh, and lean away from that arm. So it's a nice little stretch through the neck. Good, switch it please. Take your hand, stack it underneath your thigh, grab the temple, pull away. It's been such a lovely workout being on the mat with you. I really hope we get to see each other again. Have such a wonderful day. Mandy with GymRa, find me, follow, and I will see you very soon. Thank you.